First, I want to welcome everyone to the May 2nd, 2024 Greenbelt Advisory Commission meeting. This is an electronic meeting. We intend to conduct this meeting similar to in-person meetings, so please be patient. However, if there are any technical difficulties, public comment will be via telephone only. Please know that if you are watching this meeting live online, there is a 30-second delay. To speak during any of the public commentary opportunities, please call 1-877-853-4247 and enter meeting ID number 941-0420-8673. This information is also available on the public agenda in the public notices section of the city website and on the broadcast of this meeting on CTN channel 16, AT&T channel 99, and online at a2gov.org/watchctn. Please note, if you do call in for public comment, you must enter *6 to unmute yourself. So with that, we'll call to order and do roll call. And I'm going to move my screen around a little bit to make sure I've got everybody's names correct here. All right, Commissioner Armstrong. It's like present.
Here in Ann Arbor.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for remembering to say where you are. Yes. Commissioner Bloomer.
Here from Traverse City.
Okay. Obviously here from my own home in Ann Arbor. Commissioner Buzzard. I think I saw him on the phone.
I'm here from Ypsilanti.
There we go. Commissioner Gordon. Not here yet. Oh, no, there he is. He's coming in. We'll call him mostly here. He's getting there. Commissioner Laramie.
Here from Ypsilanti.
Okay. Councilmember Redina. Not here yet, as far as we know, coming. And Chair Riggs is on her way. As we just mentioned, she is presently stuck in traffic, but making her way. I think with that, we move on to approval of the agenda. And we have a motion to approve the agenda as written, or do we have any changes to it?
So moved.
Okay. Moved by Roseanne, and then anybody second? Just got to follow the Roberts rules, right? So, all right. Thank you, Dee. That works for us. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Great. There's Robert.
Aye.
Jason, sorry, I think I didn't give my attendance. Commissioner Schuler is present.
I'm so sorry. You know,
no worries.
Yes, you are present. I can see you right there. You weren't on my list because last month we knew you weren't going to be here. That's why. My bad.
This is the first time I'm back in a while. That's okay.
I'm so glad to have you back. Yes. All right. Thank you for speaking up. Okay, the next thing is approval of the minutes. We do have the minutes attached to the agenda from the April 4th meeting. Pretty straightforward, pretty concise. Does anybody have any questions or changes to be made to the agenda from last month? Okay, seeing none. So can we get a motion to approve April 4th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Okay.
I'll second.
All right, excellent. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, good. Passes. So we will move right into, it looks like we've done like a little switching around of how we run our agenda a little bit. Is that right, Rosie?
Yeah, just with new headings, but it's still the same way. Staff report. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So
new business. Sorry to explain that more. New business is supposed to be for items that actually have voting actions taken on. So since we don't, so if anything comes out of closed session, like that ends up being new business, but otherwise our other stuff is just presentations.
Got it. Okay. So just clarification of the language. Got it. Okay. So then we're on the section for public commentary, and I believe we don't have anybody. Is that right, Juliet?
Correct. No callers for public commentary.
No callers. Okay. That changes. We will make space. So then we'll move on to presentations and kick it right back to Rosie for staff report.
Okay. All right. So not much of not a big staff report today. But we, of course, the expansion of the Greenbelt has been getting a decent amount of media attention. Last month, MLive had an article about it. They published another one. And over at the Ann Arbor Observer, Trilby, she's on Alpac at the county, if you know her, wrote a long article that is unfortunately behind a paywall about the Blue Belt expansion, the Green Belt, and a little bit about sort of the state of the agriculture in this area. So if you're able to access that, that was a nice article. And then I wanted to give a little update on Buy Protect Sell. So we have a closing scheduled for May 15th for the southern side, that I hope we can meet that. This is how the building envelopes finally played out. This is the last survey, the most recent survey I have, showing the land division, which was approved and all of that. North parcel, south parcel. We negotiated this envelope over a long period of time. This is where septic was approved. This is where the existing buildings are. And then the building envelope for the north side, smushed in between the pipelines. So that's what it'll look like. That's what it will get recorded as. And then that's my staff report. Happy to take any questions.
Can you just remind us which one is which in terms of parcel 1 and 2, which is sort of purchased for what?
Sure. The south parcel 2, is going to Kristen Muehlhauser of Rain Dance Organic Farm, so local vegetable style growing. And the north side is being sold to Matt Demon of Feral Flora for native seed production for landscaping purposes and restoration purposes.
Fantastic. Good. Anybody else have any comments or anything, questions for Rosie?
I have just a quick question on the building envelope. Do we have like a minimum percent of area, or when you said it was negotiated back and forth?
Yeah. So when we published this in the RFP, what was advertised was a 5-acre building envelope, but of a different shape. And usually when we do conservation easements, right, on any piece of land, we negotiate that building envelope with the landowner that's already there to best provide for their needs, for their property, for their future needs, their current needs, where they're hoping to expand. That was, of course, hard to do in advance of a RFP. So, we did the best we could with what I thought would be practical. But once we started talking to the landowner, or the new landowner, and they kind of started getting their plans ready and had to really design a farm when there's nothing there, we had to accommodate their future plans, just like we would any other landowner. So it's still the size of these building envelopes have not changed from what was advertised, which I thought was important, because that could have really affected who applied. But yeah, exactly where they are on the property has changed.
Thanks, that's helpful. That's what I was asking about, like, did the size change? And thanks, Rosie.
All right, great to see progress there, and fingers crossed for the May 14th closing for the south side. 15th?
Yeah.
Mid-May.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. Good. Then I think we can move on to budget review.
which will also be short, as I have not changed anything from last month. Nothing has changed. There was nothing to change. So the things that are underway, I will go through these projects, which also have not moved from last month, admittedly. So, but Webster submitted CARES to the feds for review. That might have changed. We might have still been reviewing it at that time, but now it is under federal review. Fletcher, Scioto Township's just working on it. Divine, the baseline is, I think it was last month too, just about done. I've basically been kind of putting that aside and focusing on meeting this closing date for Buy Protect Sell. So that'll pick up again very shortly. Hayden and Heller, the townships, are working on it. So we've got Larson and Amazon Pop, which closed in January. Still haven't. We didn't get an updated finance spreadsheet from finance yet. So this is still based on a December fund balance. So I have removed Larson and Amazon Pop from that balance that closed in January. And then we have, the unrestricted funds, and then all of the stuff in closed session and pipeline of potential projects, and then our final unrestricted there at 2 million. So
That's
yeah,
good. Obviously,
nothing
with no
changed.
changes from last month, I don't imagine there are questions, but certainly there's opportunity if anybody has thoughts or questions to share. I don't see anybody chomping at the bit, so we will move on to the next thing: Greenbelt expansion, Bluebelt development timeline. That's still yours.
Yeah. Mostly kind of staff report, but an important thing to label and I think talk about. So as it was said last month, our Chapter 42 revisions were approved, all of them, and that Chapter 42 is the ordinance that runs the open space and parkland preservation millage and our program. So as part of those revisions, we had 2 boundary changes. We squared off the traditional greenbelt into Ypsilanti Township, and we added a second boundary to work within that we are calling the Bluebelt, which is the Huron River watershed upstream of where the city pulls its drinking water, limited to Washtenaw County, to promote and advance the water quality priority that came out of the 2019 strategic planning process and also was always a priority of the Greenbelt program. So that's a reminder of what that looks like. So I just wanted to share with you that developed a simple timeline of developing the Bluebelt, deciding how to operate within it. Those questions, a lot of things are on the table right now. The things that are certain are that whatever projects we do in there have to have a direct and pretty strong tie to water quality. And we're still using our same tools that we are allowed to use, our land acquisition-based tools. So those are set, but we could, we might have a different application process. We might do outreach. We might not. There will probably be a different way, one way or another, of evaluating the properties that we get, however we get them. There are questions about, do we want, or should we, I'm not supporting this one way or another, but other options are like, do we spend a particular amount of money in that area versus our traditional area, or do we contribute a particular percentage to projects in that area? All of these things are sort of, possible. So this is just a timeline of figuring all of that out. So I've already had some early conversations with our local land preservation partners. I just wanted to, communicate to them that anything was on the table. I wanted to know what assumptions they had about what the Bluebelt would look like, how we would operate in it. And then also talked with HRWC, including Kate, about how they talk about water quality, what HRWC as a professional water group thinks is most beneficial, what types of properties are most beneficial for water quality, and gradually looking at other places in the country that do this sort of thing. So over the course of this month, I'll take all that information from those early conversations and develop sort of a draft of like some things that could sort of work, and then go through a series of collecting feedback. So GAC is on the list of informal conversations with whom to have. I wasn't really prepared to have like a massive conversation about it today. I guess I would suggest to email me if you had any big thoughts about this. And when I have something more to react to, we can have a bigger group conversation in a public meeting about it. But for right now, I invite you to, and some of you have already, but email me or call me about your like immediate ideas if anything came to mind when this came up. And hopefully all of this will be done by the end of October, and we can start doing work in the Blue Belt.
Discussion or anything anybody want to chat about? I think it's exciting.
I just want to say great to call it a blue belt. That was a very clever move versus just expansion of the green belt.
Yeah, it's also made me aware about communicating that it's all the same amount of money. That's an important part of the conversations I've been having, is that the addition of the blue belt, if we called it a green belt expansion, it's more obvious that it's all the same money. But so I want to make it clear there's no additional money that comes with this. It opened up potentially new grant opportunities and a couple new township partners, but not any new local other funding from the city or anything.
Credit goes to Rosie for flagging that the Greenbelt Source Water Protection District overlay didn't roll off the tongue and coming up with Blue Belt. That's all Rosie.
And no more acronym too. We don't need another acronym, especially the way that would have rolled.
Though, of course, the Blue Belt does overlay with an area that does have a acronym, which is the SWIP, the Source Water Intake, or I guess it's the SWIA. I don't know. The SWIP is the Source Water Intake Protection Plan, which our City of Ann Arbor Water Treatment Department has. So that was one of the groups that we worked with, and they're here on this timeline to kind of come up with this and support this. And so I think some information will be taken from their SWIP.
It's always an acronym.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's exciting. So we'll have updates on that over the coming months.
Yes.
All right. I think that leads us on to new business, and we do have an item or two, I think, for closed session. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, we do.
So I think to do that, we have to have I think we have to have a call, or excuse me, a motion to move into a closed session and also a roll call. Does that sound accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Does anybody want to make a motion to, no, actually, I think we start with roll call, right? To it. It doesn't matter. So assuming that everybody's going to be there, we will do roll call, but does anyone want to make a motion to go into closed session to discuss new business items? think I saw
I move
Roseanne's
from the
raise her
closed
hand.
session.
Yeah. Roseanne and Dee, thank you. Okay. And then obviously we have to vote on that. So everybody in favor of moving to closed session, please say aye or raise your hand.
Aye.
Okay. And then we'll do a roll call just to make sure that everyone's going to be there. And I'm going to cheat and pull up the participants list so I don't screw it up and miss Sheila or anybody else. So I'm going to go down a different list here. So Commissioner Bloomer.
Yes.
Okay. D, I can't remember your last name, so I'm calling you Commissioner D. Okay. And I'm not even going to do the commissioner thing. I'm just going to say people's names and stuff. So what about Kate Laramie?
Here.
Okay, you'll be attending. And Julius Buzzard.
Yeah.
And Robert Gordon.
Yes.
Okay, and I will be present. And still not on our call is Councilmember Adina or Elizabeth, who will join us when she can, if she can. I think that's everybody. I don't call staff to order or to do anything, right? So,
Sheila,
I'm here.
Jesus,
All right.
that's amazing. That's precisely what I was hoping to avoid, and that's what I did. You're at the very bottom of my little checklist on the right here, Sheila. So I blame myself, but I'll give Elizabeth a hard time just since I'm winging this. Okay, so
You're doing a great job.
all right, so we will move now, and we will see everybody in closed session shortly. Hopefully, if you don't have a link, tell Rosie sooner than later. But you should have the link. It was mailed to us a little while ago. So,
Yep.
All right, we'll see y'all shortly.
Are there any motions from closed session?
I have a motion to
Yes.
I move to authorize an appraisal on parcel ID 2024-04.
Thank you. Commissioner Armstrong, is there support?
Yes.
Great. Commissioner Gordon, thank you. And is there any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
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 Aye. Okay. Any opposed? None. So the motion carries. Great. Next item on our agenda is communications. Looks like.
We're just going to take this time for another little presentation.
Fabulous. Thank you. Take it away, Remy.
Commissioner Gordon, these are just a few of the statistics that we could pull to summarize an impressive 9 years of service to the Greenbelt Advisory Commission. I've been with the program for 5 years and have only seen one other commissioner make it to the 9-year mark of tenure and service to this commission. So for that, it is a truly remarkable act of public service. So thank you for that. But to summarize, but a few of the things that you helped oversee and guide in your 9 years on the Greenbelt Advisory Commission, we have protected or added 39 properties to the Greenbelt District in that 9 years, totaling 3,092 acres of protected land. That represents 44% of all of the Greenbelt's work. So truly, you've seen an incredible amount of land added to the Greenbelt District in your time of service. Breaking that down further, the 3,092 acres that were added, 314 acres of those were public nature preserves, most likely in partnership with Washtenaw County and Legacy Land Conservancy. It represents $24 million worth of real estate permanently protected, of which you helped steward $8.2 million in Greenbelt investments, matched by $15.8 million in external funding. So those are the, direct land protection statistics, but also programmatically, you've overseen now four Greenbelt managers in that 9-year period, of which I had the privilege of being one. So I thank you for your support. And what that looked like as a support to a Greenbelt manager was helping navigate one of the most notable rarities of the program's history, which was the very first rejection of a Greenbelt project by City Council, and helping build community understanding and council understanding of what that project was, what the Greenbelt is, to eventually lead to its reintroduction to council and its from federal funding sources. So that was truly a notable part of the Greenbelt's history, especially that it happened in my first month as Greenbelt manager. Robert, you helped us through the Greenbelt's 2019 strategic planning process. And today we are implementing. We are implementing the vision that was developed in that 2019 Greenbelt strategic plan through the development and actualization of the Blue Belt through BioProtect Cell and all the other great work that the Greenbelt is doing. So thank you for your support, Robert, Commissioner Gordon, and everyone here. I hope to see you all achieve as long and successful service as Commissioner here has been able to pull off.
Thank you for the kind words, Remy.
And I hope we don't lose you to California too much. See you around here.
7 months a year in Ann Arbor, 5 months a year in California.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take it.
Oh. Thank you, and congratulations, Robert. Very
Thank you.
nicely done.
Thanks, Robert.
Well, can't top that, so I'm gonna suggest we go to our last item on the agenda, which is adjournment. So does someone want to make a motion to adjourn?
I will move to adjourn the Greenbelt meeting.
Thank you. Commissioner Armstrong, and is there support?
Support.
Thank you. Commissioner Bloomer, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. So we are adjourned. Thank you so much, Rosie, Remy, Robert, everybody. Great to have you back,
Thank you
Sheila.
all.
Thank you, team.